Cedar Fair currently owns 12 amusement parks. As of early 2020, I've been fortunate enough to visit all of them except Gilroy Gardens. So today, I want to rank my favorite Cedar Fair parks that I've visited. And I decided to do this ranking a little differently. I decided to not only rank the parks as a whole, but I decided to rank them how the 11 parks compare to each other in 4 key categories for me: coasters, non-coasters, operations, and atmosphere. Atmosphere will also incorporate theming. And I decided against including food because there are 2 standouts in Knott's Berry Farm and Cedar Point, but all the other parks blended together in that area. So kicking off the list is number 11, Michigan's Adventure. Michigan's Adventure was my least favorite park across the board in every category. With regards to the coasters, Shivering Timbers is a fantastic ride loaded with airtime, but that's the only standout attraction in the entire park. And the operations were brutal the day I visited as well. Slow dispatches and many delayed openings. In terms of atmosphere, I liked the lake in the center, but the park just didn't have any charm. Number 10, Valley Fair. This park feels very generic to me. It just feels like the prototypical Cedar Fair park. The only area that felt a bit different was the heavily wooded back section by Excalibur. In terms of rides, I really like Renegade. It's one of the best GCIs. Some of the other coasters like Wild Thing, Steel Venom, and Excalibur are fine rides, but just not standouts. In terms of flats, the park has 2 good S&S rides in the massive Power Tower and the Extreme Swing. The park is a bit sparse in water rides, but I did like Thunder Canyon. Number 9, Worlds of Fun. This park narrowly edges out Valley Fair. Even though Prowler isn't as good as Renegade, the overall coaster lineup is superior. And this park has the advantage of having a Log Flume and Cyclone Sam's, the unique indoor chance wipeout. I loved how quirky that ride was. This park is towards the bottom in terms of operations, as several of the coasters kept breaking down on me and the dispatches were on the slower side. Number 8, Dorney Park. Dorney graded out surprisingly well in every category except coasters, and their coaster lineup is solid. Steel Force, Talon, and Hydra are a formidable top 3. But what I like most about this park is the collection of older flat rides like the Whip and Demon Drop that complement the newer flats. I also really like this park's River Rapids ride in Thunder Canyon and the Log Flume Thunder Creek Mountain. And even though this park is usually empty, they always seem to run things at max capacity to ensure things are a walk-on. Dorney's low rating is a testament to how good the parks are above it rather than a fault with Dorney. Number 7, California's Great America. The coaster lineup thins out fast, but I love Railblazer. It's in my top 25. And Gold Striker and Flight Deck are great rides as well. The rest of the ride collection is decent with the Intamin Drop Tower and a solid Rapids ride. But one area the park really shines is the overall atmosphere. This is a really nice looking park, particularly if you visit during Winterfest. Number 6, King's Dominion. This park is carried by Twisted Timbers and Intimidator 305, 2 of the world's best roller coasters. But below that, there are some solid supporting coasters in Dominator, Grizzly, and Flight of Fear. Some strong flats, and a Boo Blaster's Dark Ride. In terms of operations, one of the major coasters is usually down whenever I visit, so that's a bit of a bummer. In terms of atmosphere, I love the wooded sections of this park, but other areas are just concrete jungles. Number 5, Kings Island. This park is one of the deepest ride lineups of any park, and it will only improve once Orion opens. But as it stands, Mystic Timbers is the park's signature attraction. But beyond that, you have several good rides like Diamondback, Banshee, Beast, Flight of Fear, Bat, Drop Tower, and some water rides. This is also a really nice looking park that is usually running 3 trains on the major coasters. Number 4, Carowinds. The coaster lineup is very top heavy, but I absolutely love Fury 325, Copperhead Strike, and Afterburn. I could spend all day re-riding those 3 coasters. Beyond that, you have some nice flats, 2 dark rides, and fast operations on most of the coasters. The only real flaw with this park, in my opinion, is the lack of a water ride, considering how hot it gets in the summer. Number 3, Canada's Wonderland. This is the only park outside the US, and it's one of Cedar Fair's best. I love the mountain centerpiece, and the park in general looks quite nice. but what carries this park are the big three B&Ms in Leviathan, Behemoth, and Yukon Striker. To support those rides, you have the classic Vortex, the unique Wonder Mountain Guardian, and arguably the best flat ride collection in the country. I just wish this park had a good water ride and a wooden coaster that doesn't try to kill you. Number 2, Knott's Berry Farm. This is easily the chain's best themed park. The ghost town area in particular stands out for having a charm you typically don't see at a corporate park. From a ride perspective, the park has a strong coaster lineup with some good steel coasters and the amazing Ghost Rider. But the other thing that makes this park stand out is the non-coaster collection. You have 2 well-themed dark rides, some thrilling flats, and 2 great water rides, in particular the Log Flume. Number 1, Cedar Point. Was there any doubt what would be number 1? This is my favorite amusement park in the world. The coaster lineup is easily the best of any park. You have Steel Vengeance, Millennium Force, Maverick, Magnum, and I could just keep going on and on. But beyond that, this park has some great flats, and the park's atmosphere is incredible. The setting on Lake Erie is one of the best of any amusement parks, and despite the park's size, it has managed to retain a good amount of its charm. Last but not least, the operations are lightning fast, and many of the employees are fellow coaster enthusiasts who want to see others have a great day. So that's how I rank the Cedar Fair parks. Do you agree with my list? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thanks for listening and look forward to more countdowns here at Canopy Coaster.